All right, so what we're doing right now is we're gonna react to our reaction of I hate Tears of the Kingdom. By the way, Peachal and I are hosting this giant event where we have 16 different streamers completing a Nuzlocke and then entering into a tournament in August. All of the information is available at nuzlocke.in. I thought you guys would like to know. If you're curious, I always react to my reactions. So let's do it. We have about an hour 30 of a reaction here. Why do you hate Tears of the Kingdom? So that's exactly the nuance that I'm going to discuss because apparently there's none on the internet. So let's get into this. The community posts on YouTube. Just want to let you guys know about that. I think this is the same shirt that I'm wearing. If you want to see fantastic, great creator. Before it was cool. Oh, specifically, you'll probably see me down here. This is kind of be a meta commentary. You'll see me eating a lot during all of this. The original video of this is like 3.5 hours long, and it's great. It's fantastic, right? We cut down a lot of it mainly because I wanted the reaction video here to be actually more reactive, because why else would you put it on YouTube? It's just a re-upload otherwise. So you'll see me a lot of the time eating, because what we did during the Tears of the Kingdom 100% run was I would put this on anytime I had a meal break.
You're more than welcome to watch this video if you haven't played the game.
Yeah, it's a good video. I think the other thing that a lot of people saw when they saw this was like, pointcrow hates Tears of the Kingdom. More news at 11. And no, I don't hate Tears of the Kingdom like Skitty hates Tears of the Kingdom. I actually don't even hate Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's a fantastic game. It's specifically like, I don't hate Tears of the Kingdom. I think a lot of people are missing the nuance of this. I love Tears of the Kingdom so much that I can criticize it and still like it. You know, like I can be like, hey, I wish they did these things better. I would not be streaming and making videos of it if I hated it. So that's the nuance, right? It's like, I can agree with these points, but still love the game. I think that's just really important. You know, Eric hates Tears of the Kingdom, but twice. That's not what this... Yeah, I think important thing when like watching all of this is like there is nuance, right? Like it's like just because I'm watching a thing and I agree with Skitty on a lot of the points doesn't mean I hate the game.
Being a Pokemon fan for most of your life will do that to you. But
hey, they fixed it in the Switch 2 at least, which is not great, but I'm glad they did fix it. We watched this before the Switch 2 came out.
For all this game gets wrong, it never misses the mark when it comes to spectacle.
Dude, we're gonna get there later, but like as much as the story is like, you know, could use some work, there are some peak moments. I'll put it like this. I love Tears of the Kingdom. I think it has its flaws. Here's a really good way of putting it. Breath of the Wild is good throughout. Tears of the Kingdom has low lows, but also higher highs. So it's a different kind of experience. When I say this, it's like, I'm trying to be like, I want those low lows to not exist, because then it could be high highs all the time. But unfortunately, those low lows may bring it down to Breath of the Wild status for me personally, or maybe even slightly below. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are still my number 1 and like number 2 games. So also, like, the whole, like, I like Tears of the Kingdom over Breath of the Wild, or, like, I like Breath of the Wild over Tears of the Kingdom, and you're wrong otherwise. I think there's, like, a lot of nuance, at least on the internet recently, of, like, you know, having opinions. You can have opinions and be like, I like Breath of the Wild better than Tears of the Kingdom. That doesn't mean I think you're incorrect. Or, like, I mean, that doesn't mean that, like, your other opinion is wrong. Like, somebody can like Breath of the Wild more than Tears of the Kingdom. Somebody can have, like, Tears of the Kingdom more than Breath of the Wild for other reasons. And that's totally fair. But you can also, like, talk about that in, like, a, you know, that's the cool thing. Narrative dissonance. Oh, I looked this up later, and this is what you should do. I'm really proud of myself looking this up, because like it's a really good reaction, right? You want to know, and you want to know more and listen in to what they're saying. That's the definition right there. This is a really good reaction. I'm glad I did this, right? If you don't know something, it's really important to look it up and figure it out, because hey, how else are you going to learn? How else are you going to live through life? Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck with a vocabulary of poggers and forehead and fivehead and omega lol, and then you turn into what's that guy's name? The guy who's like Eden Ross. Oh, Jesus Christ! I think I'm wearing the same shirt. Yeah, guys, I have a washing machine. Contrary to popular belief, I do own one.
Finished. That's no big deal.
Pointcrow, fast pointcrow. You gotta stop sniffling. Like, blow your nose. Blow your nose. See, blow your goddamn nose. You've been streaming for 6 years. Don't you know what audio is important? I don't know. I think my reaction here is a total C tier. I mean, I'm eating, obviously, but like I could be reacting better. I'm learning how to be a react streamer, right? Because I really want to phone it in later in life.
But that still presented some interesting questions for the sequel to answer.
This is a really valid point. Skitty also makes like really...
I went first.
Along with the rest of the
yeah, that's a good reaction. This is really interesting, because I'm wondering what Skitty... And I'd love to see another video from Skitty talking about the Zelda Notes memories that you can get from there. I think I know already what Skitty's probably going to say for that. And it's like, it's kind of DLC, but then requiring a auxiliary thing to explain things in the main game is probably generally bad design, but it does explain some things, which is kind of, it's kind of nice. It does also give us more questions, like who the Lomai, and it's like, you're just doing the same thing that you did in the Zonai. It's just a lot. There's like, it just makes you like, it really adds it to like, Tears of the Kingdom is Breath of the Wild, but like a little bit more, rather than like it's a whole new game and a sequel. It's like
pause here. We gotta get.
I'm gonna pausing here. It's like, here's how I think I could really put it in like my thoughts. Tears of the Kingdom is the Switch 2 of Breath of the Wild to the Switch 1. Like if you're getting the Switch 2 being like, this is a totally new console and everything, and you're like, wow, I can't believe this is the sequel and it's gonna be different and crazy and even better. It's not. It's just more of the Switch 1. That's kind of Tears of the Kingdom. If you really like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom is just more of Breath of the Wild. By the way, these are all of my opinions, and so if you disagree, hell yeah, totally do it. Like that's so fair.
They cannot be serious.
I'm still with Skitty on this. I was a little disappointed when I saw this for the first time. Like, why did we have DLC armor in the base game? Why didn't we get more new things than keep the like in addition? I don't know. Like it just felt like a little, I don't know. It just wasn't rewarding.
What does this have to do with this maze?
Yeah, and then they actually kind of doubled down in the new Zelda Notes memories with Rauru. They did double down on this of like there's an ancient civilization than even the Zonai that ran the labyrinths, and then you're just kind of like, I'm left with more questions than answers. Oh, is he about to pause?
Closure with this game.
We're gonna pause here, but dude.
Oh, he's pausing.
Yeah.
Say more. Say more next time, pointcrow. You can't just say, yeah, I agree. Add new things. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I'm being radicalized against myself. I'm being radicalized against my own reactions. You get the concept of this by watching my stream here, but you don't get the nuance, I think. So maybe if you are like just being like, wow, pointcrow hates Tears of the Kingdom, I think you could probably get that from this video. So I can see where you're coming from just watching it like this, because I didn't react as much as I probably should have. What's up?
Totally did solve that Rubik's Cube. I agree to disagree.
See? Look, nuance.
This is something Skitty does that proves that they're a good commentator, because they'll bring up points that you never really thought of, that you're like, no, I don't like that either.
pointcrow,
Like
this could be a better reaction here, man. This is just how things work. Like, I'm not actively thinking about this when clicking on this. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm curious. It's like you watch any video here.
Anybody that has like is like new to video.
Okay, actually, this is pretty valid though.
Maybe Breath of the Wild, but you know, like Tears of the Kingdom, definitely not.
Okay, but there's more there. You know, this was kind of cut out, but like, I just like, I don't know. I think you could. Whatever, you know. No, I can't just say whatever. I need to react properly. Guys, I think pointcrow right there did a pretty decent job, except for the very intro of his rant, right? Because I think pointcrow right down there started out like pretty weak and then ended strong. Obviously, you don't know when you're clicking on a video. Why do you watch pointcrow does Tears of the Kingdom with only bombs, and then you already know exactly what's happening? Why would you ever click on that? Right? So it's like that is quite literally the actual point of this. Now you ended on a high note of like, okay, you have a difficulty recommending the Tears of the Kingdom stuff. Like, I get that. I'm with you. But like, you should just start with that. The lead-in is not necessary. Call him out. I should call this guy out. This guy, dude, r/we hate pointcrow is going to hear this.
It's visual diarrhea. That's why you don't use them.
That's fair. That's fair. That's actually really fair. Now, that was a good reaction. I got to laugh out of that one.
So there is some sort of verification
There
system,
is. We know this from the Zelda Notes too. Because Koga tries to activate them and then you just can't.
Walked into that room, tried to activate that terminal, failed,
Yep.
starved to death.
This is real. Like, this is me, like, now after Switch 2 Zelda Notes. This is true. And super valid. Because, like, if Link woke up there and didn't have the arm, he'd be screwed. He'd be like, okay, I'm in the sky now and I have no idea what to do.
No shrine on Shrine Island, and this game costs $70. I'm going through all these examples to illustrate.
Yeah.
You could say more than that, pointcrow. You can say more to that. You could be like, no shrine on Shrine Island. Like, I get you. Like, I get that anger, right? That's a little disappointing. Like, that's the problem with using a different map. Embellish, pointcrow. Say more. This guy, am I right? This guy. I'm radicalized now against pointcrow.
Wait, what a wild start. Okay. I'm so happy for you.
Worst react streamer ever, am I right, guys? This is why I subscribed to Crow Point instead of pointcrow. Old pointcrow lets TTSQ build up too much. I have 33 on the TTSQ right now. Oh, here's the other thing. Oh, hi, Crow Point viewers. I've seen a lot of you guys ask this before, like what this number is and what this symbol is. It's my TTSQ, my text-to-speech queue. So if you send in a TTS via 100 bits or $1 on Super Chat, then it goes to this queue, right? Does anyone want to showcase this of like how it works? And that's how you get dollars, guys. That's how you get money. Right, easy. You too can scam somebody out of $1. So yeah, so you can see there that somebody sent in a TTS, but it's paused right now. That's what the pause thing is. Now you can see Personally sent in another one. So you can see now that if you send in a TTS right now, there's 2 in the queue that will play before yours, and it's currently paused. So if I then unpause it, you can see here it's unpaused, so it'll play at any time.
Spoink.
Thanks, Foxat. And then it goes down to 1. I can pause between it again, and then we can continue on. So you can see how many are in the queue. So then if you send in a TTS, you know when yours is going to play.
Yeah, this one.
Were
Yeah.
ruins that shared a unique, distinctive architecture.
All right, so he's reacting like that specifically because he doesn't want to spoil. pointcrow doesn't want to spoil like what's happening next.
You can see the jump where they're like, oh my god, we can make another DLC. It's gonna be so cool. We have so many ideas. Into like we have to make this even more for a full game. Oh god.
Good reaction there. I'd say that's like maybe B tier. Nice job. Nice job. Like I think that had some more insight that added to the video this time.
They were human, or at least roughly
with the
human size, given that they
horns and everything.
Use your words. You can do them.
It's so cool too. You're like, oh, what is this?
You can elaborate.
Is pretty dumb. And then half of them in existence are dumber.
That includes you, past pointcrow. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that also means that half of them are smarter. Have a glass half full kind of attitude here. Because if you have the glass half empty, everyone's going to think you're super pessimistic. And then it's not a good reaction. Come on, man. Come on.
High science and a high fantasy is really just kind of the Star Killer base of our Death Star. It's not. It doesn't bring anything new.
It's true. It's true. And specifically, like even more so in Zelda Notes, and I mentioned this earlier, they bring in a new older race than Zonai, and it just makes it seem that they're just trying to do what they did with the Zonai in Breath of the Wild, but again in Tears of the Kingdom. And it's like you can't just do that and have no like they have the heroes aspect, which is mentioned much later, but you can't just do that. You can't just be like, oh, we have no answers, mysterious. You know, like you gotta actually have some payoff for it. Otherwise, look at Elden Ring. Like that actually, you want some mystery. You have some likely answers, but having no answers means that there's no substance and therefore no enjoyment and no sense.
But the thing that makes this so different is just the passion behind the voice.
Yeah, no, I agree with this so much.
It's like I passionately hate it because I wanted to love it so badly.
And that's why like I make the videos I do, and that's why I don't know, I think that gives it a little oomph because like I make it a point to like if I don't like something, I will not stream it. It doesn't even matter if it's a great idea. If I don't want to do it, it just shows. You can take this as like if pointcrow's doing it, it's because he enjoys at least something about it. So if I keep making Tears of the Kingdom videos, I keep making Breath of the Wild videos, it's because I really love it. Like maybe it's because I'm making my own my own rules, my own challenges, and I like figuring out that little puzzle that I've created for myself. Tears of the Kingdom with Only Bombs just recently came out, and that was so enjoyable to try to figure out what things could do what. It was awesome, man.
I disagree with Skitty where making the Zonai devices electrical devices was they mentioned it might not have been a great decision there. I think it was
good insight. This is I think S tier. This is really good.
Like this bad decision. More Sky Island.
And additionally, I think we cut this out of the video specifically. I think the depths are a great thing in concept. Oh, hell yeah. It was so cool. You're like, what? There's a whole third layer of this thing. I think it was great. I think they should have dug it even deeper, truly making new biomes and new like things to explore. And I genuinely also think that like, this is gonna sound so cringe. I think they should have made the depths brighter. I know they want you to find light roots, but I don't like going to the depths as much because it's just so dark and it's kind of annoying. It's just like, and it was too samey. There wasn't like, you don't come across them. You're like, oh, what's this that often? I get the concept. It ended up being a little bit bland. And I think if they actually went even deeper, if they tripled down on the depths, then it would have been just phenomenal. And it just kind of ended up being like, cool. I liked it. I just wish it could have been more.
The only new treasure you can find down here is the miner's set.
Whoa. I didn't know Minecraft was in this game.
Through manipulating their inner workings.
Yep, I like that a lot.
I liked how they were like active in the overworld. Rather than places you go to, they were also things. I loved that. You know,
this is a good
from the
reaction.
distance, you're like, holy shit, am I going to go there? Versus the water temple, you're just like, okay.
Good reaction right there. Good reaction. Exactly what I think. I think it added more to Skitty's explanation here. I liked it. Nice job. Nice job. I like my reactions, I think, further in this video than earlier in the video. So this is great. This is good.
And then you skydive into the eye of the storm and the music swells.
So good.
It's great.
Do you guys remember the name of the character that was leading the expedition? Do you guys remember them? They just showed them, actually. It was the black bird right there. All right, some of you guys got it. Hearth. Yeah.
I still forgot. It's been like a month since I played this, and like that was like a defining moment in proving that a lot of these characters were kind of forgettable because they, you know, were there to give you the quest to do the thing. I still forgot that his name was Hearth.
And I genuinely struggle to understand how the people working on this game found this
That's no reason to hate Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, we got 2 more hours.
This Zora historian is puzzling over a broken monitor.
Okay, I'm funny sometimes. You know.
Did I mention this game costs $70?
I will also say, like, the whole, like, this game costs $70 is a very fair criticism of, like, hey, you know, like, I think you would expect a little bit more quality from something if it's $70. But I will also say, once again, it's like, I don't think that's a total knock against Tears of the Kingdom. I think it is worth the $70 that you pay for to play the game. And I will say, like, I think it is worth that. But I also think that it's something that is, like, kind of sort of correcting a little bit more in recent. I've talked about this a little bit, especially with the Switch 2 launch. But it's like games are getting more expensive. And it's not great, right? At least my take on it currently is like, because it could change. I'm just a person. My take on it currently is I don't think a lot of people should be yelling at Nintendo for increasing the prices of games. Like, whoa, holy shit. Why is Nintendo's dick down your throat? And it's like, no, hey, the issue isn't that. Games have stayed the same price for so long now that inflation increasing has actually and actively made the price of games relatively cheaper comparatively to wages. Now, the problem now with games increasing isn't the fact that, you know, it's more expensive, particularly because it technically isn't. The problem is that wages haven't increased with inflation or the cost of living in most, you know, first world, second world, third world places. So the problem is that wages aren't increasing as well as costs. That's the actual problem. It's not Nintendo charging more. It's the fact that you're making less. That's my take on it. Once again, I could be, you know, like I could get more information that maybe change my mind, but that's the current thing.
I like the idea of lining up rocks. I hated that the riddle for it was, hey, shoot the thing between the rocks that you have to line up.
S tier. I think that actually, I think that was an A tier thing. A tier reaction.
Something that peeved me was being so late in the game, stumbling upon a new shrine, and then it's a tutorial on how to throw items.
Yeah,
like,
no, good insight. Good insight, brother. Good insight.
Okay,
Nah,
sure.
that's
It was
not.
like, oh, cool. We're learning how to use a bow.
There were
which we've
too
been
many
using.
tutorial
Breath of
shrines,
the
in my
Wild
opinion.
does
Too
well,
many.
doesn't- By far the worst offender here is the sneak strike tutorial.
That was a good reaction.
So how
That was
do
a
you
good
find
reaction
these
right there.
I will say, I do like that mechanic. I think it was really cool. I understand why you might not.
Yeah, we've
and
mentioned
that
this about
it
the
does
depths.
trivialize finding shrines. Like
This is good insight.
I think it was really
This is good
because
insight.
It's like concentrating all of your enjoyment of the exploration to find the shrines into one moment, which makes that moment really powerful. But then all of the subsequent moments, not so much.
It's just facts. Like, I stand by that. Good insight. Really well put. I'm with him on that. Like, it's just, it starts fine, but then, like, the later you get in the game, like, most of Tears of the Kingdom just becomes so trivial and, like, a little bit checklisty. I think it's the best way to put it. 7 out of 10. You thought that was a 7 out of 10 insight? Okay. I would have put it about, like, 7.5, but we'll take it.
I will say, this shrine, I don't know if you guys remember how I solved this shrine. So
This shrine was sick.
I'm
This is
bomb
how you
jumped
knew
onto
I was going to do
the
some
rail
crazy
and
stuff in Tears of the
paraglide
Kingdom.
across.
God, it's insane.
Yes!
No,
Now
it's not
you
the same
solved
shirt as
this
that
one.
clip. No.
Okay,
Chat, that's not the same shirt. What are you talking? This is literally not the same shirt. That is a different shirt that's a little bit more gray. This one's black. This one says neat on it. You should wash it then.
The tutorial, and
God
it's the
damn
only
it.
mallet smash, lever power, or maybe lever power? I don't know. Swing to
Chat,
hit,
is it
or
lever or
roll,
lever?
all
Lever.
of that
Definitely
to
lever.
hit the
Okay,
target.
it's lever, yeah.
Even without
Thank
the
you.
knowledge,
Sorry, I
you
asked
just cheat
chat,
your
but
way
I
through
answered
them
myself
using
from the
bombs.
past.
Also, they forgot about recall, and with good reason.
Yeah.
People praise the ability to just
Say more?
bypass because having
Ooh,
multiple
D
solutions
tier,
to a
dude.
puzzle
Say more.
sounds
You can say
appealing,
more.
but
Give
there's
more
no
insight
way
there,
rather
right? You
than
can have it
being
in another
constrained to a
sentence or
single
two.
path.
That's one
Finding
word,
out
and you
the
extended it a lot longer than it should have been.
You can probably pretty much like solve anything with recall.
Skitty just said that. D tier. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that reaction. I don't know about that one. You could have said more and not just rephrase what Skitty said there.
Reminiscent of Secret Stairway, a shrine from Breath of the Wild.
I love
DLC
Secret
that-
Stairway.
I
I wish they
love
did a bit
Secret
more with this one. I
Stairway.
think it would be one
Oh,
of the
At least you know my reactions are genuine.
Part of the appeal with the challenges in Breath of the Wild was like, how do you do that? Like you read the title and you're like, I want to know how you do that. For Tears of the Kingdom, you won't even click on the video because you think you already know how it happened. And that's the problem.
That's pretty fair. I think it actually like genuinely hurts like the marketability of Zelda content. Once again, being too creative with it means that it's just there's no challenge. Yeah, I agree with Eric. Yeah, I agree with myself. That's yeah, no, I agree with myself here. I think he has really good points. He's also looking phenomenal, just super humble too. But that's I think it actually clicked with me a little while back. Inherently, marketability of like challenges will just be not great. I think I've discovered that like I just have to go that extra mile. Beating Tears of the Kingdom with only bombs speaks to that.
For starters, Mayak and Mayam are two different shrines, both of which are distinct from Maya Chideg, which is not the same as Maya Chin or Maya
This
Hisi.
is my favorite part of the video.
There's Maya Siar, Maya Umekis, and Maya Usi. Joniu is totally different from Josinu.
Maya Usi? Hey, yo.
Siwakama is different from...
Is it Maya Usi?
I understand.
All right. You caught me. If there's an immature joke, I'll go for it. Okay. It's just kind of, it's there. Okay. It's low hanging fruit is just an easy joke for me. I'm not going to go for it. What do you think? Who do you think I am? Some comedic genius? No, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel, and here you are watching it.
Finding the 1,000 Korok seeds scattered across the map is not something I'm ever interested in doing.
Yeah, me either. This was it was missed in the original edit of this video, but specifically Skitty goes on to say like I know they're not designed to catch every single one, and that's inherently why the trophy for collecting all 1,000 of them is a pile of poop. It's supposed to be kind of like funny and everything. So that was like a little bit missing from this, but specifically like if it's there, I don't know. I feel like I understand. I just I don't know. I guess I wanted more from the side quests specifically. Korok seeds, I think those are fine. I think a lot of people are like, I want more from the Korok seeds. You're not meant to find all of them.
You get a glider fabric if you do all 81 of them, but we already talked about the issues there. And it doesn't change the repetitive nature.
We're literally just doing it for a glider fabric. That's the entire reason why we're here. And that's the other thing. Tears of the Kingdom does discourage you from completing all 100% of the stuff, which is fine. This might be a shot. I'm okay with that. I don't want a game to encourage you to complete 100% of the things to get everything.
This stupid face deflates whatever tension existed in this moment. I
know exactly what I say here.
Sure that the reason this is in the game is so that people could make memes.
I actually disagree about that, but you know.
We hear about
say more, say more, say more, say more. I disagree with it because I don't think that is actually too important for the marketing of the game. I genuinely, it's like, okay, I think they kept it in because they genuinely thought that it was an actual scary face. It is a little bit of a scary face, but I don't think it was actually for marketing because viral marketing like that, while it does work, I don't think Nintendo cares about things like that. That's my opinion. But I do think that they could have done that scene better. And I don't think it should totally be in the game. I dislike it for a separate reason, but I'm not conspiratorial about it.
Small thing. Why would you show?
Okay, yeah.
That he has like
I'm mentioning it over here.
Horse, and then Ganon's horse in the game is different. Where is that?
Actually, good insight too. That's S tier. Nice job. Nice job. Does Tears of the Kingdom pass the Bechdel test, but like with Rauru and
it's like the Bechdel test for Zonai.
Me. Okay, Jesus. Is everything I say predetermined? Were the Greeks and Romans right with the fates? Like, is this...
But the score in the scene is so good that it makes me emotional in spite of myself. That's basically the final hour of Tears of the Kingdom.
You want to say anything else? Oh, okay. Cool. F tier. Say more. This reaction from pointcrow is pretty weak here. Could be a little bit more, especially because it's like towards the end of the game.
The visual gag with the health bar manages to be fucking hilarious without deflating the tension of this moment.
Is that all you're gonna say? Say more. Wow, I really liked it. This really was like an Undertale-esque thing where they really play around with the mechanics of the game later on in the game. I love how that is, especially because it ingrains you. It's a comedic part into it, but it also has that narrative, that driving narrative to make you care more about the game. Say more, pointcrow, please.
I kind of disagree with this statement here because I took it a little different of like he's being killed, defeated by Link, and the only way that he can actually now survive and maybe wreak some calamity is by doing that.
That's a good take. That's a good take. And this is quality reaction, right? You can respectfully disagree and still have your no, that's good. I like it. I like it. If we had more of this would have been a better reaction video. I think it's still a good reaction video, but I think there was some nuance that I lost while talking about things, mainly because I was eating for most of it.
The delay when using the quick menu is removed, and the ability to scroll through with the R, L, Z, L, and ZR buttons is restored.
I actually have some insight to this, why they have the delay there. Yeah, it's because of shield clipping and all that stuff, right? That's why they introduced the delay. It was to patch out that glitch.
S tier! S+++ tier, right? You take what the video said and then you add on to it in an insightful and new knowledge, like in an insightful way, and new knowledge is gained by the viewer by watching your reaction, which makes it transformative. Amazing insight there. Yes. Yeah, it's like we just pulled like a secret art rare of reactions here. That was good. That was really good. I like that one. I like that one. I like this reaction a lot.
Adding a lot of this though would make the game more confusing with a lot more menus, etc. Like the barrier of entry becomes higher, but it does make it better.
This is good insight.
But I would rather have all of it because then it would just still make it better.
High highs, low lows.
Came from the depth.
I really like Skitty's take on this, on like how to make it a little bit better.
Pause. Let me go one step further, okay? Imagine a world in which this somehow affected Ganondorf in his life in the very, very far future, or like the Gerudo.
That's an extra layer.
He's so angry about the Zonai, and that's why he wants to become the ruler so he can change things.
One layer of
right
deeperness.
Reasons, but there's a little bit of a
okay. You could be explained. You could explain this a little bit better, but okay, we'll take it. We'll take it.
But first, I want to respond to a criticism that I'm sure a lot of people will have.
There's a lot of criticism about this. There's like a lot of people who are adamantly and vehemently defending Tears of the Kingdom in every choice. And that's fair. I'm not like saying we're right or wrong on something. It's more like open to discussion. It's so weird because it's like I love and hate this game at the same time. I love it so much that the small pitfalls that I find myself stumbling over become so much larger. And I'm so passionate about the Zelda series and gameplay that like the highs are so high and I love them and it's so iconic. God, you got to check out this game. And then the lows are so low where I'm like, please ignore that like actively. It's just, it's like, it's so good. And I'm so passionate about it. At the end of the day, I think that's like something that's like super awesome about this game is that it does radicalize you. It does make you passionate, but unfortunately not for all the right reasons. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I'm just kind of talking. Subscribe.
I'd compare Tears of the Kingdom to Majora's Mask, where Breath of the Wild's Ocarina of Time, except it's as if Majora's Mask didn't have the 3-day cycle, or Majora's Mask and it had a trumpet instead of an ocarina. Here, it's like imagine if it's Majora's Mask, but you take away
what are you talking about?
Maybe I'm taking a bad take. Okay, maybe it's a bad.
It's not a bad take. What are you cooking?
If you don't get it, then like you're just simply not understanding my genius.
Nurse, he's out of the home, please. Nurse, can you get back, please?
Nintendo has a market cap of $63 billion.
I think I talked about this. I'm gonna wait for my reaction before I say anything.
Actually, probably not the figure you want to use, but I see what you're saying here. The point remains.
Just to go further in on that, it's not the figure I understand what Skitty is saying, that there are a lot of resources, and so you need to treat it to a higher level. Market cap is not the way to do that, though. I think that's an incorrect figure. It's like how GDP, for example, for countries is inherently flawed due to the that's pure financial versus value gain versus, it's just a little bit different. It's not the one that you want to search for. It's, for example, maybe a more relatable one. How do you tell if a YouTube channel is popular? You do not go by subscribers, which is what you think you would do. You go by views, average view per video. That's a really good way to see how popular a YouTuber or creator is, because that's how many people are actively watching them currently right now. A channel that's been around for longer will have more subs. That's one of the reasons why, there's a whole bunch of other things, but like, for example, if you are a smaller creator with not as many subscribers, but you have millions of views per video, it's actually difficult for you to get sponsors on those videos, because companies in this day and age who don't truly understand analytics like that will look at subscriber count rather than average view count per video, and therefore they will cheapen their deals for you. They will not even have some deals for you, basically because they're using incorrect metrics. This is a small rant over a very small problem in the video, but just as like a fun fact, I guess. So the point still remains that Skitty's saying, just incorrect figure. Cinema. It's a great video. Check out Skitty's video. It'll be in the description if we make this into a Crow Point channel video again. If there's one thing you have to get from the reaction to this reaction of the video, it's that I still like Tears of the Kingdom, but I love it so much that I can also still dislike some aspects of it and enjoy it as much as you see me do in videos. Because, hey, guess what? I have an idea for a video for Tears of the Kingdom that might be coming up soon, so... Gosh, it's just, how long did this take? We could have had the Mona Lisa, but you've created this now.